You may already be aware that the personal development and health industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Huge.
And you may be considering or already be a coach within that industry. Are you aware that the largest number of coaches in the industry are making less than $28,000 a year?
Not so good.
Not good at all. Well, what we're going to share in this video is actually how you can avoid being one of those. And I'm sharing it because I started out that way. We'll come back and I'll share that story in a moment, but Lisa's actually going to share with you some of the key distinctions that the most successful money earners and coaches are aware of that allow them to succeed.
Absolutely. One of the first key distinctions is that you need to have your own transformation. It's very challenging to not have walked the walk if you're talking the talk. And really a lot of people go out there and they want to tell other people how to do it, but they haven't done it themselves. So the first is having your own personal transformation. The second is having the skills and resources to be able to actually create change and help people. Seeing so many people get out there and they'll have their own transformation maybe, will have the one part but not the other, and they think that their success, that what helped them will help everybody, right?
Yeah.
And it's not the truth because we're all unique. So what helped Willard might not help me and might not help you. And then using the same thing for each person is not resourceful. So having the skills and resources and tactics, strategies, techniques to work with anybody you're working with whatever problem they're having is imperative to actually be able to create change for individuals. The third is the business sense. You can have the desire, you can have the passion, you can want to make a difference for everybody, but if you haven't invested in the knowledge of understanding how to make it a business and make it profitable so you can afford to service people and you can have them invest in themselves so they can invest in their future, then that is something that most people miss because they have the idea, they have the love, they have the desire, but they don't have the business knowledge to make it profitable. That's why, like Willard said, the average person in the industry only makes $28,000 a year.
Now, granted, there are some people who do much better and they do it great from the start. Lisa, as you'll hear in one of her stories later, she started off at a totally different place than I did. I started off making all the mistakes that Lisa just talked about.
Right.
You know, initially, I had made transformations in my life, but because I was working for another company, I felt inauthentic in some of the message that I was sharing until one of my mentors had said to me, he goes, are you teaching people, and at the time I wasn't, he goes, are you teaching people how to make financial investments? Are you teaching them about financial freedom? And I wasn't at the time because that was an area I was struggling in. But I was teaching people about how to take control of their thoughts, take control of their mind, overcome obstacles, to persevere, to improve their character. And he had gotten me to shift my focus to going, that is an area that I could be 100% authentic in because I've made those transformations. Well, by accepting that and feeling that authenticity, I was now able to transform the way that I was teaching people. The next thing that he said to me was, you know, right now you're just giving people basic level skills. He said, you need to invest in yourself to really set yourself apart from the rest. You need to become one of the best. You need to really look at getting cutting edge skills that bring value to the market so you can increase the prices that you're asking for people. You need to bring value to receive value. And I said, okay. And I did. I went out and I invested in learning some of the cutting edge neurosciences to become the best at what I was doing. Then he said, the next thing you need to do is, he said, you've run businesses in the past, you've done some things, but this is totally different. You need to continue to invest in yourself to learn how to be a better business person. You need to learn how to market yourself. You need to invest in learning how to really grow the business as a solopreneur, not from the other business model. You need to look at what you're leveraging out. So I really followed his advice and I went from struggling, making barely any money as a coach because I'd gotten so used to doing it for free, as Lisa had mentioned before. I did that for the first probably 8 years of my journey into personal development, then barely got by for a couple of years, still working another job, to where for the past 18, God, more than 18 years now, we've said that for 2 years, so closer to 20 years now, I've made my living completely as a coach and a consultant and been earning 6 figures and more in truly being able to help people. So if you are looking to avoid being the person who struggles, you really need to find a way to invest in raising your skill set, making the transformation in yourself, and understanding that the coaching and consulting industry is a phenomenal industry to be in, but you need to understand how to build a business in it.
Yes. So if you're ready to take that next step and invest in you, start to learn more, click on the link below, join us, find out what's next for you. Leave a comment, like, share the information, and know that you have a gift that needs to be shared. You obviously are here listening to us this long. Let's help you make the difference, not just for yourself, but for others. We'll see you on the other side.